Having weathered the worst of storms together under almost constant media scrutiny, the royal princes have a sibling relationship like no other. And it was no surprise in 2011 that Prince William chose Prince Harry to be his best man.
On the 19th of May, William will return the favour when Harry and Meghan tie the knot and 3 become 4. A powerful new generation of the British royal family has well and truly come of age.
For all the celebrations of this wedding, the British monarchy has got some tough times coming up. Charles III is not going to be a popular king, and the one beacon that they've got to look forward to is the union between these two brothers, William and Harry.
Diana was determined to bring them up in a way that was different from royal children before. You saw them at roller coasters, you saw them doing things with her. I think that then her death probably made them cling to one another even more.
You're an idiot. Get this on camera. You forgot your boots. Oh my God.
Out of the tragedy of Diana, there has come a partnership like we've never seen before in our royal family.
We've seen lots of pictures of them laughing and joking together and in interviews, and they've talked about their closeness. Whereas with the Queen's children, they weren't nearly as close.
The addition of Catherine Middleton to the family, if anything, brought the boys even closer, with Harry reportedly referring to her as the big sister he never had. But now the threesome is becoming a foursome. How well will Meghan fit in?
There may be some question marks over Kate, whether she welcomes this glamorous American TV star coming to upstage her. We shall see.
I spoke to Darren Stanton, a body language expert, who cast his eye over this recent public appearance made by the quartet at the Royal Foundation Forum.
The thing that's quite striking is that they're all kind of sat in a similar way, and we get this matching and mirroring. That means that each of them are sharing each other's gestures in terms of ways of interacting, ways they sit with each other, and also there's a thing called pace and lead, which means when one of them adopts maybe a slightly different posture, the rest of them do it as well. So it's almost like they're moving in unison. It's quite a telling piece of footage in terms of the genuineness of everyone, you know, that each other are getting on with each other. You know, by contrast, if we look at footage of maybe the Queen in the younger days and other royals, you know, the body language is very different. So it's just nice to see a lot of gestures coming out now where people are genuinely all getting on.
After her marriage, Meghan will join the Royal Foundation, the charity set up by William, Kate and Harry, and she seems to share similar passions for similar causes.
William and Catherine have set ideas on their charities. Harry and Meghan have probably set ideas on their charities. They will come together at certain times where they are working together for a charity. Let's take Heads Together, for example, mental health charity.
Rhian Burke lost her infant son and husband within a few days of each other in 2012. She's recently got to know the royals through the Heads Together project.
I had the privilege of meeting Prince William one-on-one, and we sat down and we talked, and I actually asked him, you know, how he has coped with the loss of his mum, who obviously died suddenly. And I asked him if my children would be okay in the future after losing their dad so suddenly too. I met them recently again in the Royal Foundation Forum, and he came straight up to me and just chatted and put his arms around me and just said he thinks about me. There's no words to tell you how much that means to somebody like me who, for the last 6 years, have felt like I'm worth nothing. I will be thankful forever.
This genuine connection that the new royals are making with the public is providing crucial ballast for a monarchy which 20 years ago was reaching crisis point.
After 15 years, the palace confirms the marriage is over.
The marriage of the Duke and Duchess of York is over.
Official at last, the Prince and Princess are to separate.
All of a sudden, the royal fairy tale didn't seem like it anymore, and there was increasing amounts of anti-royal sentiment.
Back in 1987, 3/4 of people thought Britain would be worse off, with just 13% thinking we'd be better off. 10% didn't know. Now, though, less than half, 44%, think Britain would be worse off without the royals, whilst those who think we'd be better off has doubled up to 27%. and now 29% don't know.
Diana's lovers and Charles and Camilla and Fergie's toe-sucking. We loved it, but it's not what we expected our royal family to do. I mean, the death of Diana marked the particular low point.
Much of the anger, which was at first directed at the paparazzi, has been focused on the royals themselves.
And it took a lot of turning round.
Well, Chris, you are ITV's royal editor, doing the job I did for the BBC for many years, but in the really bad, tumultuous years for the monarchy. How have things changed?
You had a very difficult time when the focus was on the younger generation for all the wrong reasons. We're in a different cycle, if you like, and I think the royal family finds itself in a sort of good part of its evolution, and the younger royals, those 4 younger royals, are the ones that are really connecting with the people they need to connect with.
Do you think then that with this new generation of royals, the monarchy is going to be in safer hands than it perhaps was when I was reporting on them?
We can't sit here today and say that William and Catherine's marriage is going to be safe. We can't sit here today and say that Harry and Meghan's marriage is going to be safe. But if they are, and if they maintain themselves and at least outwardly project the image that they're grounded, that they understand other people's concerns, then yes, I think the institution of monarchy is going to be pretty safe in their hands.